One of our great viewers and one of my cigar-smoking buddies, True to Roof, sent me this story this morning from Yahoo. The fact that it's from Yahoo makes you think, well, nothing good can come out of this, and I was right. The headline is 2018, Summer of Hate. And all of a sudden, we're seeing a video reel of white people cussing out black people.
Can you please get away from me? Can you please get away from me? Can you please get away from me?
In this country, we have what's called the First Amendment rights, okay? Which I can say whatever the I want.
We built these streets.
No,
white man built these streets. I'm in.
Don't you do that in my country.
I'm getting into a fight with some Muslim chick because she has an attitude because she thinks she has rights that she doesn't have.
I'd have shipped your back home wherever you're from.
I love all you illegal immigrants. You do wonders for our country.
There's 3 numbers I could dial.
All right, that's not the kind of thing I would expect to say at my dinner table. But where's the blood? Where are the guns? Where are the threats? Where are the hospital visits? Where are the 911 calls? Where's the large-scale black mob violence? Because while Yahoo is making a big deal out of these disagreements among neighbors, they're ignoring this enormous level of large-scale black mob violence riots that are happening recently. I mean, on Friday night, this is what's Sunday, there was like, I don't know, 5, 6, or 7 of them. There was a lot of them, all in one night. People were shot. 8 people were shot. 6 people were shot. 2 people were shot. Lots of other people wounded. Here, there, everywhere. Why don't we start in Philadelphia? Pay attention to how, we're going to start here because pay attention to Philly and pay attention to this reporter and how hard she works to marginalize the fact that 300 black people were rampaging down the streets of downtown Philly, destroying property, fighting police, causing all sorts of havoc and mayhem, and how she's in complete denial, deceit, and delusion about what really just happened. Then we'll run through a lot more videos of a lot more stuff just like that.
Philadelphia police are investigating after a gathering of teens turned violent and destructive in North Philadelphia. It stretched for blocks and led to damage inside some businesses and even to one police vehicle, and also left a few of those teens hurt. Action News reporter Maggie Kent now live along Broad Street this evening, where it all happened, with the very latest. Maggie.
Brian, most everyone agrees that most of the kids who were out here last night were not causing any harm, but a few bad actors were, and that includes kids who rushed inside of this Wendy's restaurant, toppling over chairs, those who were fighting, and some others who were throwing rocks at police officers.
It was a chaos, yeah.
200 plus kids took over North Broad Street Sunday night. Smaller fractions of the crowd overturning the tables inside the Wendy's on Broad and Cecil B. Moore. AJ Alame owns the pizza shop across the street.
I was protecting my store.
Police say 2 kids were injured while fighting.
Teenagers were actually fighting each other out there. In fact, at one point we know one of these kids was assaulted by another kid and was knocked unconscious.
In this video, you can see many of the teens in the large crowd were peaceful. Police officers ushering that crowd along.
I thought it was like a march for like peace for the streets or something like that, or Black Lives Matter.
Although by the end of the night, a rock was hurled into this police cruiser, breaking the back window.
Like in a lot of instances, I'm sure it wasn't all of them.
Well, we're following breaking news out of Baltimore County. Police say 9 people were arrested following a large disturbance at the White Marsh Mall. Baltimore County police say around 9 o'clock tonight, mall security was trying to enforce a curfew and usher kids loitering off the parking lot. They say that's when a heated exchange occurred between the group and mall security, and that one adult attempted to punch an off-duty officer in the face. Now, pepper spray had to be used to disperse the crowd. 7 juveniles were arrested for disorderly conduct, along with 2 adults. The one adult is now charged with second-degree assault on an officer, along with resisting arrest.
Well, this morning, 7 people are in the hospital after a shooting broke out here on the city's east side, and Cleveland police tell us 3 of those people are in critical condition. The shooting happened outside the Dog Pound Grill and Lounge around 1:30 this morning. But just an hour before the shooting, social media videos show a large crowd of people outside the bar as local rapper Q Money filmed a music video. A witness says after with the video, many of those people stuck around for an after party. And then that's when bullets went flying. At least a dozen shell casings were in the parking lot of this bar.
Gunfire broke out tonight in Cone Park during an event for kids, all hosted by some Atlanta area rappers. Atlanta police say one man was shot in the leg at that Southeast Atlanta park this evening. A person of interest is in custody tonight. The park was hosting Zone 6 Day. It featured free school supplies and activities for kids, along with rap concerts. It was sponsored by Atlanta rappers 21 Savage, Big Bank Black, and Future. Police tell us significantly more people showed up for the event than organizers were allowed to have.
Crowd projections were supposed to be around 300 individuals. That was greatly exceeded. Estimates are around 2,000 individuals that were in the park.
Panic tonight at a park in Titusville when an event promoting peace was interrupted by gunfire. A DJ at the event catching the violence on social media that sent children and their families running for their lives.
Kids in the path of those bullets.
And that man tells us it was chaos after those shots were fired. Good evening. I'm Lynn Keys. This all started around 5:30 tonight at Isaac Campbell Park on South Street. Channel 9 Steve Barrett is live at the scene where he's been gathering details. Steve, what do we know right now?
Well, we learned just a little over an hour ago something we'd been hearing all night, that this started with a fight. One of the people in that fight came back to this park and opened fire in this parking lot right behind me. That's when a bystander who had a legal weapon pulled out his gun and shot that man in the head. So the only injury right now is the actual gunman who showed up here at the park. And of course, this was supposed to be a peace rally. The father of the organizer and the DJ at the Peace in the City event captured video about 8 minutes into his Facebook live stream. Minutes before the shooting, you can see the number of people, about 200, many children, enjoying the day at Isaac Campbell Park. Then chaos erupts.
We had a lot of kids under the pavilion and kids coming from out of the bounce houses when the shooting occurred. So it was kids in the path of those bullets. But thank God none of the kids got hit.
It took a moment to sink in as parents and children scrambled for safety. A peaceful day turned deadly and terrifying for the kids.
When I turned around, I thought it was firecrackers. And I was like, who lighting firecrackers out here? Then I seen one of the guys with the pistol. And he was busting at the other dude. And I'm like, they shooting.
Scary for the kids?
Yeah, the kids was terrified. So my 2 kids was like, Daddy, let's go, let's go, let's go.
And back here live, this is actually the flyer for the Peace in the City rally. You see here, it says enough is enough, stop the violence over here. A day of fun, no violence. Clearly, it did not turn out that way.
Yeah, police say there were a lot of people here in this area, and now they need the community's help to find the gunman. That shooting happened around midnight. A fight broke out, according to police, in a crowd of people. Then someone started shooting. 6 people were shot, including 2 innocent bystanders passing in a car.
Seemed like an operation that was well rehearsed. It certainly was big enough. 7 suspects, 2 getaway cars. They seemed like they knew what they were doing until they left and had that Kodak. These are pictures of 2 of the suspects making their getaway after this high-dollar handbag heist at Saks in Chevy Chase. Look closely. Handbag upon handbag upon handbag, stacked one on top of the other. It seemed like it took quite an effort just to keep them from tumbling to the ground. But as they were making their getaway, who should be outside in his car but Isidro Garcia? And snap went his camera. What do you make of something like this, man?
I don't know. Maybe easy money. Yeah.
Pretty brazen, though, huh?
I know.
Daylight.
I know. They like to leave easily.
It happened around 11:30 this morning. They say two guys go inside that Saks and assault an employee. They're followed by 5 more guys. And then all 7 men began grabbing things this way, that way, out in a flash.
They're calling it a crime of fashion. A group of thieves is caught on camera breaking into stores in Boston and making off with more than $100,000 worth of Gucci retail. On 48 Hours Crime Siders, Michelle Sagona. Police say different Gucci stores have been hit on 4 separate occasions since April. The Chestnut Hills Mall has been targeted 3 times, and another store on Boylston Street has been hit once. Last Thursday was the most recent robbery at the Bloomingdale's in Chestnut Hills Mall. Our CBS Boston station has this exclusive surveillance video of that particular heist. The 6 suspects entered just as the store begins to close, with a few customers still shopping. Police say they knew exactly what they were looking for, and they were in and out of the store in just about 20 seconds. Investigators say the thieves made off with 30 high-end bags worth thousands of dollars each.
Good morning. It is a difficult scene. How many people are out here? And truly, this is the aftermath of a violent night in several neighborhoods across Chicago. People, family members, friends, loved ones of those 34 victims that were shot since midnight. They are out, our immediate family, because it's just chaos. There are so many people up here that are upset, and police, a heavy presence out here as well, trying to keep everybody calm and do what they can to keep this situation from escalating. Now, here's how we got here. There were at least 4 mass shootings that happened. Youngest victim, just 11 years old. 8 people were shot in the Gresham neighborhood, 10 people shot in 2 separate locations in Lawndale and Bolt Park. And most recently this morning, 3 gunshot victims brought here to Stroger. This shooting happened. A lot of investigating to do, but also a lot happening out here. And this is where their immediate focus is.
Over in Lorain, Ohio, the local, some local community group and the cops put out a memo. I think this was on Friday or Saturday. Put out a memo saying, "Oh, we're going to have a party tonight, people. It's going to unite the community and the police. And good times and good feelings, because everybody knows the only reason that black criminality is out of proportion, wildly out of proportion in Lorain like the rest of the country, is because, well, the cops don't really get along with the fellas and their lovely ladies that much." Well, they had their little party. Turned into a riot. Yes, a riot. Large-scale black mob violence in Lorain. They arrested a few people, but as usual, a whole bunch more got away. Okay, here's something that happened over where a 13-year-old girl was stabbed when 20 of the fellas and their lovely ladies got into a little melee. Here's another mall shooting. Another one. Raise your hand if you are surprised. I don't see any hand raising. Hey, how about a birthday party down North Carolina? Yeah, you got 1 person killed, 6 people injured there. Yahoo didn't mention that. They're just hung up about somebody on a bus yelling at another person on the bus. And that's pretty much the worst thing that they can come up with. Here's a warning to all you members of the JCs or Rotary Club or golf courses or anybody else who has a little clubhouse that you rent out to people. If somebody comes to you in the summer and says, "Hey, I would like to have a back-to-school party. We're going to give away book bags and papers and pencils." Yeah, nothing much will happen there. What they're really saying is, "Hey, would you mind if we have a big, large, unchaperoned party for black people that will more likely than not, erupt in large-scale black mob violence?" I've seen that a lot. Yahoo won't talk about it. We're talking about it plainly, without racism, without rancor, without apology, and without worrying about making a few black kids angry.